And with that, Valvoline Season 2 just ended. And with that, we have 2 champions, okay? We have Lemon for D1 and Cordy for D2. As Lemon dominated D1 with 8 wins, well, Cordy, he was just there. No offense, Cordy. But, obviously, some new roster changes. A little bit of switch-ups there. Big surprises here and there. This is going to be a video covering both D1 and D2. I'm going to have to separate this into different parts since I'm not going to do this in, like, one full video. So, with that, let's get on with the drivers for D1. And starting off with the first driver, it is the defending series champion of Lemon. We love Lemon, right? Yeah! In all seriousness, Lemon had single-handedly one of the best seasons so far in Valvoline history, winning 8 races to win the championship, which was actually deserved, by the way. Obviously, he could have actually swept D1 and D2, but due to some misfortune in the D2 race, he did not get to that, that championship for D2. So, obviously, he was a little bit heartbroken about that, but heading into D1, he had a goal, and that was to win the championship, and he did. Lemon all around is the championship favorite for Season 3 once again. And it won't be surprising when you see him going to be dominating since, well, now Valvoline will be in the chase instead of the playoff format, which is actually very W. So, will we see Lemon, go back-to-back, or will someone else surprise the field? I would highly say that Lemon would win this championship. He will go back-to-back. Because the stats just prove it all. He is likely to go back-to-back. But, who knows? I could be wrong about this since my predictions are actually horrible. Oh, look, it's the driver that actually was the other person that deserved the D2 championship. Wow. And also, Nikki was actually a real contender to fight for the Season 2 championship. And he will be, once again, another contender. Obviously, one of Lemon's biggest threats for this championship. But what can he do this time around? Obviously, Nikki, he's looking for a strong season. Obviously, trying to get his first title and trying to, overthrow Lemon. Which, I could see this happening, by the way. It's Nikki. He could probably do a lot. But, once again, like I just said, my predictions are ass anyway, so I'm not 100% certain. And now for one of the people I actually like in, the roster, and ones I've actually worked with a lot in D1, well, in my time in D1, is Lance. Obviously, Lance is one of my favorite people in the garage, no exception. But yeah, Lance, he has been very consistent throughout, the Season 2 season. Obviously, just missing out on the Final Four due to some mishaps at Pocono and just missing Vegas in general. That's what hurt him and just didn't cause him to fight for a championship, as Nas would win at Pocono. And I think it was Joey that put him his way in. Yeah, Joey put him his way in. So yeah, it was just not the greatest time for Lance, but he's looking to rebound this season. Obviously, he was about to retire, but then he came out of retirement. So, yeah, I see him being in the chase and probably finishing top 3 in points. That's where I see the benchmark, at least, for this number 19. So, the last EMS driver on this list is Blocks. It would have been Burrito, but Nikki just doesn't like Burrito. And Lemon didn't want to let, Blocks go. But he also didn't want to let Burrito go. But anyways, I'm not talking about Burrito. He's going to be the next one. But now I'm talking about Blocks. Blocks, he missed the D1 Championship 4 by 2. He just needed some good runs at Pocono and Las Vegas, and he would have been in. But obviously, that's not what he got. It was really unfortunate seeing because he looked so strong in those races. I don't even know if he was there for Las Vegas or not. I can't remember from the top of my head. If he was there or not, I don't think he was, but if he was, then Jesus Christ. But I remember him doing well at Pocono, and I don't think I was there for whatever the first race of the round of 8 was. Yes, my favorite Burrito. Because his name is quite literally Burrito. Anyways, but Burrito has been one of the most high listed talented drivers. Can't find the word there. He is one of the most talented in the field, obviously. Hasn't gone to prove it just yet. He's basically like on the same category as me, but with just a little bit more, with a cleaner driving style than I do. That's what gets him like good finishes and shit. And honestly, I love Burrito, and he's a good driver as well. So it makes sense, like why he would make the chase. Yes, you heard me right. I have Burrito making the chase. Think I'm wrong? I'm not. He has a clean driving style. That's what gets him good finishes, and those good finishes could get him into the chase. Like Burrito is a good driver, just like overshadowed. But now it's time for the USB driver's turn. Yes. Besides Lance, this is my other favorite person in the garage. Obviously, because he's my team owner, so this is going to be Glaze. And I don't care. But Cordy, all around, is a great driver, obviously. Winning the D2 championship in fantastic style. You can't just, ask for more than a last lap battle, which ends up in a great finish. You just can't ask for more, can you? But Cordy, obviously, looking to win the D1 championship, or at least make the chase. That is a goal for Cordy, is to just at least make the chase. And he will probably say that his season was successful. Obviously, I have him making the chase, which should not come as a surprise to anyone. Because, yes, I am glazing. But still, Cordy is a good driver by the end of the day. Obviously, clean driving style, very calm and mature. Who wouldn't want a driver like that to make the chase? Obviously, like I mentioned with Burrito, that if you just have a clean driving style, it results to better finishes since you don't have guys gunning for your head like every 2 milliseconds. Logan. But, yeah, I mean, Cordy, all around, one of my personal favorite drivers when I'm not racing. I personally root for Cordy on race days because, well, why not? It's Cordy. But by the end of the day, we got to realize that Cordy, he actually could contend for a win and actually a championship. He will be a dark horse threat for this championship, by the way. Oh, Sean. Oh, buddy, oh, pal. Season 2 was good, to say the least. Obviously, missing the championship was a bit of a bummer, I would say. Because who loves missing the championship, I would be mad if I missed the championship to Joey, out of all people. This is like the third time I had to mention it. But Sean overall had a great season. As I actually got word from this now. I actually got word from this last night. Now the chase will be 12 drivers, and I easily expect Sean to make the chase. This is an easy pick right here, as Sean will be trying to fight for his first championship. Can he do it though? I can see this happening, but who knows just for sure. Went from someone who was competitive to one who broke the rules entirely, as if the clip right here. But you know what? I'm not even going to get into that. Nas had a great season for both D1 and D2, making the championship four in both the divisions, and just coming up just short in both. And honestly, I expect them to make the chase as well. Or she. I don't know the gender, okay? So just don't be mad at me. But yeah, Nas, I expect Nas to have a great season, because this season is going to be filled with chaos. It's going to be filled with, a lot more action. And Nas has proven to be a great driver all around. So I'm very excited to see where Nas ends up. And I think that's like the 7th driver I've had to say that made the chase. But still. I think Nas will make the chase without any difficulties. He'll make it in, or she'll make it in very easily. Alrighty. Oh wow, it's me. I'm not gonna get into myself too much, so I won't have this being like an extra hour long. But yeah, entering this season, I am one of the highest talented drivers entering the season after a great little stint I had in D1 in the second half, or when the chase started. Obviously, my first race came at Darlington, and I did pretty good. I was up front for most of the day, so I mean, yeah, I'll take it. But now I'm going full-time in D1, and I can say this with confidence, I will make the chase. I can contend for wins. I contended for wins in my stints in D1, and I still haven't won because of some bad luck. Some races, I just gonna capitalize it on it. But yet again, it is race day, and anything can happen, so I'm not really surprised about it. The tracks I would say I would be strong at is the Glen, Martinsville, or Phoenix. Those are the tracks I will have a feeling I would win at. Anyways, I'm gonna just end my segment here. Okay, bye. Okay, so now next up is Lau. Okay, so I have a lot to say about this dude. It won't be long. Okay, one, Lau, he's a very interesting fellow in VC. I'm not gonna get into what goes on in VC, but yeah. But second thing is, his driving style is something I not really like during my stint in D1. Lau was aggressive, to say the least. Not more aggressive as Logan, but quite aggressive. If you were there for the Talladega finish in D1, then you would probably know what I'm talking about. But I just don't have anything for this guy, so I'm just going to move on to the next driver. So, goodbye. Gonna be completely honest with you, I have no idea that Damon even made the Season 2 playoffs. I just genuinely forgot he existed. But yeah, Damon's career as a whole was pretty quiet, if I'm being honest. Sure, he made the Season 2 playoffs on points, not wins. He does have 2 career wins, and that both came in Season 1. I know one of them came at Phoenix. I wasn't there for the other one. But with that being said, he hasn't been really racing that much. His last race was quite literally in Talladega, and that was the first round of the playoffs. And he finished 3rd in that race, so he did good. But I don't expect that to carry over because he has been inactive. Gonna be completely honest, I even forgot Zyler was even in D1 at this point. Because what does he even do? That is a good question on my part. What does Zyler do? Last race he ran was back in Bristol for, I think it was D1? I think it was D1. And then he just didn't come back again. And his last race before that was D1 Watkins Glen. And I think that was a couple races before the playoffs started. So there's a gap between them. So what does Zyler do? We may never figure it out. He's back for this season. He's probably not even going to do anything, if I'm being honest. That's what I expect. And in my playoff predictions, I generally forgot he was even a factor in D1. And yeah, I'm not going to change my playoff predictions. He is not. Or no, my chase predictions. He is not going to make the chase, okay? This is obvious. Oh my god, someone I can actually speak on that is actually tolerable. Exotic. Thank the Lord you're the last driver on this list so far. Which, by the way, I don't have the full roster, so this is going to be the last driver. But Exotic has had it in very quiet Season 2. Season obviously missed the playoffs by, a couple points. Maybe just a little bit. And then, well, he was still racing, obviously, but he was also doing side quests in the European Series and DAX. So, yeah, will he continue to race in D1 for Valvoline? I could see this happening. And will he be a chase contender? I can also see this happening if he was actually active. But in all seriousness, if he does make the chase, he just might be last out of, everyone. No offense to Exotic. You're a great driver, but obviously, if you're going to be inactive during the chase, that will not get you any, points, and that will lead you absolutely fucking nowhere. But, hey, you're Exotic. I'll let you do your own shit, okay? Just don't be mid this season. All right? And now Joey is part-time. Okay. Well, I can't tell if this is a good or a bad thing that he's part-time. But it's going to be weird seeing him not on track every week. Joey had an interesting season too, but making it to the Championship 4, but ultimately getting last out of all 4 Championship competitors. Honestly, I was expecting him to come back full-time this season. But nope. For some god-awful reason, he decided to go part-time. We may never know why, but I don't want to know why. All I'm just saying is that I'm glad. And that's pretty much it for Joey's segment. Okay, roll the next driver real quick. Alright, next up on this list is Krieger. For whatever reason he's here for. Krieger just joined in, and he's already up in D1. I feel very scared of what's about to happen. But then, yet again, I'm not going to be surprised if he's going to be winning week in, week out, since this is Krieger we're talking about. But, unfortunately, I don't have him winning that much. I know, I'm being very bold with this one. Alright, I know what Krieger has done, okay? I've seen him win lots of races. I don't think he's going to win a bunch this season. I think it's going to be lots of good drivers. I'm going to regret this very much, by the way. And another rookie we have on this list is Nag, who is also from the SCS or SRS league that I used to own back then. Nag is basically one of the only ones that can see keeping up with Krieger, Lemon, and all those guys. If he wants to show up to the races, of course, which I expect him to. And if he doesn't, well, goddamn it. But I expect him to win whenever he does race. Well, and also, like, keep up with Krieger and shit. But this is Nag we're talking about. I'm sure he's going to somehow fuck it up at one point and be inconsistent as fuck. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it for Nag at this point. Like, I have nothing else to say for Nag. So, toodles. Gonna be honest, I actually forgot that Hunter was a thing. He showed up to, like, probably, like, one trial race and then just never showed up again. Honestly, I don't have high hopes for Hunter as well, since I have no idea what he's capable of. The only time I've ever seen him was when we were testing with Beamer, the owner, and with him at Texas. And he was actually keeping up with me and Beamer for most part. Well, actually, Texas is basically now like a pack race type of track now at this point. So, I mean, it's really going to be hard to get spread out. So, I just have nothing to expect for Hunter, okay? Okay, we're done here. Oh, it's this guy. Oh, I hate this guy. With passion, this guy sucks. Anyways, but we don't know. Dreamer, I just... No. I don't know what to say for Dreamer, man. Like, I've lost all hope for Dreamer at this point. Like, for the 4 years I've known Dreamer, he has not been good at race day whatsoever. I don't think I've seen him get a single win in race day. Besides in my league. And I'm pretty sure that's the only team he's ever gone to win in race day. So that probably explains why, but he's on Krieger's team. He's gonna pull like a Mickey win out of his ass or some shit, so I'm gonna be expecting it somewhere. It's probably gonna be like at a super speedway or some shit, or like, I really don't know, but Dreamer's just ass, okay? Gotta be completely honest, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. I just look in the roster and I just see this guy, so no comment on who the hell this guy is. Yeah, I don't know who this guy is. Can we just roll up the next driver, please? Honestly, I'm very surprised with Charlotte right now. Obviously got the win in the Clash and then proceeded to win his duel. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, so we're heading to race 3. Yes, I am making this a little bit late since Capcom was bugging for a little while, which I forgot to mention that. But yeah, we're heading to race 3, and he hasn't done anything besides that Clash and those duel races. He didn't even show up for the 500 or the 150. Sorry, but yeah, that's pretty much it for Charlemagne. I'm not expecting much from him during like the later portions of the season. He's probably not going to do anything if I'm being honest. So it's going to be classic Charlemagne fashion. Okay. Gonna be completely honest, I generally forgot that Driz existed up until this point. I forgot the Rogue even signed him. But from what I experienced in Atlanta, I have high hopes for Driz. And I think he's actually gonna be a chase contender. But that's just me, though. Don't quote me on that. I am going to regret that decision later. Okay? Okay. And, oh yeah, we have one more driver left, so I'll just cue that up. In 3, 2, 1... Huh. Okay, so next up on this list is actually Whisper. Would have never thought that I'd see the light of day. Anyways, but Whisper in his duel actually won in his duel, and that was very interesting. He also made the 150 in that little time span, and that's pretty much it for Whisper. Sure, he's won at D2 Daytona, but yeah, that's pretty much all he's done. And also in D2 Atlanta, I don't even think he was like a front runner in that race either. So yeah, how will he fare in the rest of his part-time starts compared to like the likes of me, Sean, Nikki, Lemon, QWERTY, Nash, Krieger, Dreamer? But
it's going to be very interesting to watch, okay? You get the idea. It's going to be probably going to be a struggle to get some wins with, everyone I just fucking mentioned. But yet I think Whisper can at least pull one win off his ass if he does get to the Cup Series full time. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Whisper.
I didn't really think I would have to delete stories just to make the outro, but during the editing for this video, we have sadly lost two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Kyle Busch after a severe illness from yesterday after he was hospitalized hours before. Kyle Busch was a great racer, and I grew up with Kyle Busch. I consider him as one of my favorite NASCAR drivers besides Brad Keselowski and a lot of my other favorite drivers. Kyle Busch will be missed. Prayers to Brexton, Samantha, and Kurt. I know Kurt is hurt, so is Brexton and Samantha. But yeah, it's sad to see one of the sport's greatest talents just gone in an instant, just with a snap of the finger. I'll see y'all whenever I drop the next video. Goodbye.
To take home his 47th career win, the Candyman comes. Kyle Busch gets it done at Charlotte. He has now won everywhere. His 53rd race in the Cup Series and hit his magic number 200 in Southern California. Kyle Busch, he's the winningest driver of the decade, and now he is joining elite company. Kyle Busch is going to win his second Monster